We Grand Rising, and welcome back to the Concerned Citizens Podcast. We are your host. I am the Lurker, and this is Godmomma. Ooh-wee.
And today we have a show planned for you titled Life in the Department of Corrections in Georgia, where basically the prisons run themselves.
And that's what we're going to get into. We're going to show some examples. We thought since the bishop hype hasn't really died down quite yet, Godmomma and I said, hey, let's look into this Georgia state prison system. And boy, oh boy.
So y'all get comfy, hit the like, share, and we'll be right back.
Welcome. Happy Hunger Games, and may the odds be ever in your favor.
Alrighty. Nice little intro. Hey, LaKendra. Hey, Vicky. Hey, y'all. Grand Rising. Come on in. Hit that up. Let's get comfortable. Let's talk some jail talk. Just kidding. Let's talk some prison talk.
Rise, Vicky and LaKendra.
Yeah, Miss LaKendra McCray over from, she's from the Writers. Ooh-wee. Shout out to the Writers. Nikki Crayon's in the building. Hey, Nikki. Hey, baby.
Crayon.
And Robzilla, what's up? Let's do some jail talk, y'all. So Godmomma and I kind of went on a deep dive this weekend. I'm not really sure. Well, we know what sparked it. It was the bishop situation. And if you guys have been caught up with that, there's been a lot of rumors going around about what happened with Bishop, and did he get air flighted or airlifted, and did he get, pinched up? I'm not sure the prison lingo. I've trying to been, keeping up with it, but did he get pinched while he was in the slammer? And there's my dog barking, so I got to step away and let my dog in. Hey, Auntie. Hey, baby.
Rich Rise, Auntie. So, yeah.
We're geeking, but let me get my dog. Go ahead, Godmomma.
Right, because, when we found out that Nature Boy Eligio Bishop was going to Macon State Prison, we were kind of like, ooh, that might get bad. And then within 24 hours of him getting there, right, he gets into this altercation. Allegedly, he is stabbed. I think World News put out yesterday or the day before yesterday that he was actually assaulted, SA'd, since we'll be trying to stay politically correct today, and beat up. So we don't know what's the real story. So what it did lead was for us to go down this huge rabbit hole of the Department of Corrections in the state of Georgia. And when I tell you guys that I literally watched 10 people get their lives taken from them in real time, it was very, very concerning. In my opinion, Eligio is exactly where he's supposed to be. That's what he even says himself. People who go to prison, they're supposed to be there, right? But I don't think he realizes what he's gotten himself into.
Absolutely not.
And today we're going to share with you guys a little bit about how certain prisons in Georgia, the state prisons in Georgia run, and then we're going to get a little bit into Macon State Prison, where Eligio is actually at. And rumor has it Donald Trump is supposed to be going to Macon too. So
oh yeah, there's some Trump haters out there that are like, send him to Macon, because they know how bad it is there. Yeah. Right? They know how bad it is. So there's been a lot of advocacy groups The feds have had to step in. That's how crazy the Georgia State prison system is. I'm all for people doing their time, paying the piper. However, we're not a third world country, y'all. We're not a third world country. Georgia's got to get on it. And prison shouldn't be fun. Let's just state that. It should not be fun. You should have some fear. But there are people who are going in for nonviolent crimes that aren't making it home.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I don't think if you're selling drugs, you should go to prison and die. Prisons are supposed to be scary, but it's like a third world country. So we're going to get into some of it. Right now, I have just one little news article that we're going to play real quick, just to kind of give an overall view of, what other people think about the Georgia State prisons. Come on now. Let's get into this.
11 o'clock, violence in Georgia prisons. Each month, reports surface of inmates being beaten, stabbed, or even killed at the hands of other prisoners. WJCL 22 News' Brooke Butler has been working to get answers, and she joins us now in the studio. And the advocates have been reaching out to you about this for quite some time.
Yeah, Greg, they tell me they believe there are two things contributing to this violence: understaffing and gangs. And just a warning, some of the video you're about to see is hard to watch. Your discretion is advised.
Every week, inmates across the state of Georgia are putting themselves at risk to capture videos like this. They're sending these clips to advocacy groups to showcase what's happening behind prison walls.
This guy is knocked out cold. It is a gang beating.
The videos you're seeing were shot in Glenville at Smith State Prison.
Smith State Prison is just, unfortunately, one of the worst ones that we're seeing right now.
Since the start of the year, the Georgia Department of Corrections says there have been at least 5 homicides at this prison alone.
Never in my life did I imagine I would be watching things like this.
Susan Burns with a private Facebook group called They Have No Voice, and Brian Randolph with Human Civil Rights Coalition.
We're advocates for incarcerated people.
Have both been working to raise awareness to what's happening by sharing these videos on social media, reporting on deaths and beatings, even posting 911 calls.
It transcends race, it transcends age, it is just suffering. And that's all that's going on there. There's misery in Georgia prisons.
These advocates want you to know some of the people being attacked are non-violent offenders.
You're dealing with someone, like I say, with 8 or 9 months on a sentence, probation violation, that may not make it out alive.
They also want you to notice something that's missing from all of these videos.
You see all of these videos and you see all of the gang violence and just the violence taking place, and you never see an officer anywhere.
These advocates believe understaffing, along with an influx of gang-affiliated inmates, are what's contributing to the violence in Georgia prisons.
It's reached the point that the staff is not really in charge.
The Georgia Department of Corrections tells WJCL 22 they're actively working to recruit more correctional officers. They say in the month of July alone, they held 120 job fairs and ended up hiring 136 officers. They say they're also working to decrease turnover rates, and the numbers reflect their work. But Randolph feels their efforts are not enough. He feels until the conditions inside these prisons improve, understaffing will remain an issue.
Nobody wants to work in a prison, and unfortunately, it's just that's where we are.
And Brooke, the Justice Department is investigating the Georgia Department of Corrections.
Yeah, Greg, this comes after the family of an inmate claims their loved one was eaten alive by bedbugs at the Fulton County Jail. But I should note, back in September of 2021, they launched a separate civil rights investigation following years of reports of routine violence and abuse in Georgia prisons. Greg, back to you.
Brooke Butler reporting live in the studio. Thanks so very much. The Human and Civil Rights.
See, when I did some deeper research into employment into the Department of Georgia State Corrections, granted the benefits are decent, yes, but the pay is horrible compared to what you have to deal with on a daily basis. they only want to pay the people roughly 23 and some change an hour starting out. So when you pay people for that specific job that poorly, this is what you're going to get. You're going to get understaffed, and you're going to get staff members who will partake in these illegal activities with the inmates to supplement income.
Absolutely. And Nikki Crowns asked, why are nonviolent offenders housed with violent inmates? Is because they're short on staff. And they're not trying to do that. It's just how they don't have any other choice. These people have to be locked up one way or another. They have a lot of lifers in there mixed with people who are on their way out. We've got a lot of videos. Some trigger warnings might be played, but let's watch this. I have another one I want to queue up, and then we'll get back into some conversation. This comes from Facebook. This is a group that is advocating for just fair treatment of these criminals. And this right here, again, trigger warning. Get my volume up for y'all. Here you go.
Man, the man been dead since yesterday, man. They trying to figure out, come up with a story. So they trying to whistle and talk to each other. They trying to whistle and talk to each other. They come up with a story and shit. That's why they putting out their pens and paper. That's why I'm recording this shit. That's why something it's good to have fun. Shit you don't supposed to have sometimes. Yeah. Unit Manager Ingram, Unit Manager Hudson, out on the medical ladies. You see how many medical people got down here? Man died, man. That man died, man. Folk died, man, since yesterday. Man been looking for help since yesterday. Since yesterday, man, this man died, man. It's crazy, man.
Okay, so in this clip, we see a prisoner had been dead for almost 48 hours inside his cell before being discovered by prison staff. Okay, that's inhumane, guys. That's inhumane to the fullest. Okay, I know Nikki cracked a joke. You know, this is a third world country with first world amenities. In some cases, I agree with how we treat our veterans, our homeless, our disabled. However, 2 days.
That shows that no one has done rounds in at least 48 hours. That is very, very problematic. And we're seeing the consequences of you having staff work every other day or 2 days a week, 3 days a week.
Having three. I even went deeper into some other prison live streams and stuff. Sometimes they only have 3 guards to handle 1,000 prisoners. So the prisoners get locked down where they're at. So if they're out on the yard, they're locked out on the yard for 6 hours. If they're locked in there, wherever, they're locked there for 6 hours, 6 to 7, 8 hours at a time, because they don't have enough guards to escort them or to do things.
And I've also seen it where it's the reverse, where they don't have enough staff, so they just leave all of the doors unlocked except for the ones going outside. So prisoners can just go to any dorm room they want to go to. They can go. I saw a video where they took over the control room because there was no one there.
Yep, Godmomma. And look here, I've got one more. This is straight from one of the prisoners. Oh, I'm not sharing with you. Hold on. This is straight from one of the prisoners. And Nikki, I said that too, but when I started digging deeper, Georgia and Alabama are getting up there. Okay? They are. There are some pretty hardcore prisons out there, but they're not getting contraband at such a high alarming rates as these prisons are. Let's look at this guy. He's just outside walking with the homies, y'all, with his cell phone out.
Oh, nigga, stop playing, man. We out here. A lot of this shit. Yeah. See shit right here. Fuck yeah, come you say. I ain't see the gangster right there. Trollo, come pull up on me, Trollo. Come see me. Come see me, bye. Fuck you. Oh, roll game. Yeah, fuck. Yeah, man. Yeah. Oh, yeah, members outside. Yeah, bitch. Yeah, members outside.
We outside. He pulling out his shank. The guy behind him got shanks. And there's a guy right here that's about to pull out a little machete thing.
Outside. Yeah, real members out here. Stop playing. Man, this bitch bustin'. We bustin' out here, man. Fuck that. We passed out. Got that.
Look at this nigga. Look at this big old thing he got in here. Yo, this don't look like no prison in America. I'm sorry.
No.
Yeah, I mean, and they enjoying it too. Yeah, we outside. Where are the guards?
Right? The fuck is
Where
going
are
on?
the guards? This is wild, right? So this is what Bishop came into.
We outside.
We outside.
With
And
real
they was not
machetes
scared
this
to
time.
pull out their weapon. There was no fear in these boys' heart.
Mm-mm.
They wasn't looking around for no CO. They wasn't quiet. They was. I mean, this man is just walking around with it in his pants, y'all.
Mm-hmm.
Damn, see, Shawty? Man, I don't play with Shawty, man. The fuck? This bitch bustin'. I'm out here with killers, robbers, animals, all type of shit. Shout out there, blick on hip. Dang.
Jeez.
Everywhere I go, it's a blick. Everywhere I go, it's a blick. It's a blick fest out here, man. Nigga got a whole blick.
Oh. So that was 4 prisoners we seen with weapons.
Freely walking around. And this is what tax dollars is paying for.
This is what our tax dollars are
And
paying
you know, I got facts, crayons. He got nicer headphones than me. The fuck? And he in fucking state prison. What the fuck is really going on here?
Mm-hmm. That's what they doing, y'all.
And it seems like to me that the underlying thought process is just let them kill each other out. Fuck it. Excuse me.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Like, that's what I'm seeing, friend.
Mm-hmm.
Let's just let them all kill each other out. But
I mean,
we're
that's-
paying for this.
Yeah.
Exactly, Jay Solo. And they wonder why I'm a square. Because I ain't that what I told y'all? I said, I ain't going to prison. Fuck that.
Godmomma was scared straight. Okay.
You hear
Listen,
me?
all of us were excited. We were like, let's pay taxes. Yay. Let's do the right thing. Yay. We were proud to be law abiding citizens after watching some of these videos. Okay.
Because what?
Mm-hmm. When you have so much time, that's right. You don't care how much they add on. You're not going home anyway. And that's what some of this is when some of these prisoners are mixed in. The deeper I got in down this little rabbit hole I went through and going to prison talk. Ooh, I love me some prison talk because they be putting it out there, boy. They be like, what COs? Ain't no COs here. And then they were even showing one of the correctional officers coming in and getting like bullied. Open that door, nigga. Open that fucking door, bitch, nigga. I said, oh my God. Like, and y'all, I'm not playing dumb. I know prison is violent and that's where the hardest of criminals go.
Right.
However, we have to have, if we are considered a first world country, we have to just do better. Prison reform needs to take place.
Right.
It really does.
We need to hear what since Kamala and Trump both want to stomp their feet around in Georgia and tell these wonderful citizens that sit in front of them and on the TVs and wherever you're listening, tell them all of this bullshit. What about this? What about this problem right here?
Mm-hmm. And it's rampant all through the Georgia state prisons. They had Smith, they had Macon, I still don't know how to pronounce it.
Telfair was horrible.
Telfair was horrible. I mean, the Georgia state prisons themselves, they all are ran damn near the same, and it is by the inmates. Mm-hmm. But it's unfortunate because there are some lawsuits coming out. There's people losing family members for drug dealing, and I don't know. Aggravated robbery and murderers. Okay, fine. You guys are violent offenders. Go be locked up with each other. But when it's kind of, I don't want to say a victimless crime, but drug dealers and robbers who weren't aggravated robbed, who just maybe did a scam, mm-hmm. right? They're getting locked up with these people too. Mm-hmm. So and I know it's all across the U.S., the U.S. prison system, but right now we're just focusing on Georgia State Prison. It is really out of control, and there's a lot of family members that are calling in to 911 for the sake of their loved ones. Hey, I got a phone call. My brother just got stabbed in cell block D. And they're like, well, the prison needs to call us. And
there's even phone calls of inmates themselves, baby.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if you heard them, but
mm-hmm.
I was cooking dinner listening, and inmates themselves had to call 911. Mm-hmm. And the person, the dispatcher was like, well, where's the CO? We haven't seen them in days.
Mm-hmm. Yes. So we're going to play one audio. I do have one of those. This is from Telfair State Prison. Yes, I do have an audio where you can hear them say, no, the prison needs to call us. And they said, well, mm-hmm. we can't get a hold of the prison. The prison ain't answering the phone. We got somebody dying out in their damn, not bunk, but in their cell. What? So let's listen to this, and then we'll get back to some conversation, y'all, because this is concerning. Is it on my screen, y'all? Okay. Let me turn up this volume.
Ambulance or anything?
Here we go. Let me rewind it for you.
Yes, I just spoke with you on the phone. Can y'all send someone out there to Telfair Prison? Ambulance or anything?
No, ma'am, we can't.
Y'all can't. So if the boy's out there dying in the prison, y'all can't send an ambulance out there to help him, right?
No, ma'am.
That's wrong, don't you think?
That's
it's a 911 emergency that this boy could be stabbed, hurt, or dying, and
right.
Y'all can't send an ambulance out there.
The prison will have to call us for that.
The prison, and I can't get in touch with nobody at the prison.
Yeah, they would have to call us to send EMS out there.
So they would have to call and request an ambulance,
mm-hmm.
right?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, so do you have another number that I can call, like at the prison at all?
No,
to talk to someone? Not none. Oh, Lord. Okay, I'm just worried about something happening. Somebody else, please. Oh, so if you could figure out a number, please call the prison.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Will you take the information down? His name is Cortavius Evans.
She will write
he
shit
is
down.
in A2. Contavious. He's 20-something years old.
Ma'am, how do you know this?
Because my son is in the room with him. My son called me begging me to get help for this boy. That's how I know this.
Okay.
All right, please call somebody.
Okay.
All right, thank you.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what there you go. Y'all heard it. And that's how they treat them out there. And she said, ma'am, how do you know this?
Does it matter?
How do you know this, ma'am? And you could tell the lady sounded genuine. genuine concern. She's talking about, shit, my son just called me, lady. Y'all, they's not playing out there in Georgia State Prison at all.
No.
Okay? At all.
And I mean, as a dispatcher, right, the lady is telling you, I've tried to call the prison multiple times and cannot get a hold of someone. I don't, it just seems like the ball was completely dropped because she could have at least tried to get a hold of them herself because their number goes through faster than a regular citizen's number. They can call a different line most of the time. But even as some of the voice calls, there was one where the dispatcher did try to call the prison, and they had to call them like 3 or 4 times before anybody would pick up. Because apparently, I don't know, because I listened to a bunch of them, but there was one where someone was being held hostage. Just stabbings happen.
Well, you see him walking through the yard with 78 freaking shanks and machete.
Y'all,
that's not it though. We got more for y'all. We got more.
Okay. What you got going on back here, girl?
This is this is from the Facebook group Human and Civil Rights Coalition of Georgia. And what they do is just kind of keep up with the offenses that's going on in Georgia. Well, this is one of them, y'all. And I tried to make it a little bit bigger for y'all. You might have to zoom in, do what you do. Everything's blurred out. You're not going to see anything anyways, but just to read along. Okay, so basically last year in 2023, offenders at Wilcox State Prison were participating in porn production in cells for hours at a time with not a single officer ever making rounds. Email attached. Okay. In almost all of the 45-minute videos, these offenders are never interrupted an officer to do security checks. According to our sources, officers at Johnson State Prison are aware that porn production is going on and do nothing to stop it. Even the administration is fully aware. The individual behind the videos pays participants $100 a pop to engage in sexual activity on camera. Because of these videos, people have been stabbed, beat up, tied up in cells for participation in the videos that sometimes exposes their face. Hits have even been put on people's heads as well. The GDC, which is the Georgia Department of Corrections, was fully made aware back in summer of 2023 and again in December that this was happening, and they have done absolutely nothing to shut down this porn production. Videos are published to OnlyFans, Loyal Fans, Twitter, and to see full videos, there is a subscription price of $20. This is a PREA violation, which is, I guess, against the prisoners and sexual activity while incarceration situation. And does the GDC actually care about running safe and secure facilities, or do they just gaslight the taxpayers of Georgia? So they got OnlyFans, and they are beating people up, stabbing people, raping people, tying people up, and then charging other people $20 for their subscription. This is crazy, y'all. Running an OnlyFans. And I don't know why OnlyFans, they need to go report the OnlyFans. Because you can't be posting rape. That's against guidelines of OnlyFans.
Right, because even if it is consensual that's what the report was saying, per prison guidelines, no sex is consensual in prison.
Correct. So that should be going in. OnlyFans needs to be lit up about it. And then y'all need to go get on and talk to Mr. Elon Musk. Okay? And get those accounts banned. But it's not even just banning the accounts. Are these prisoners allowed to have cell phones? If so, they should not have access to social media. They should just be like the little prison tablets where you can only send your jail mail and maybe check an email or two or something. I'm not sure. But the fact that they have all these technologies, their little they have iPhones, they got their tablets, I'm surprised they ain't whipped out a damn iPad in that mug yet. And they're using it to exploit their cellmates or other men. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And while we're on this, let me close my tab. While we're on this, y'all, it was brought to our attention that Bishop, should I play that clip, Godmomma, or no? From World News? I mean, he's not a flag. He's not a flag artist, but because it was hearsay, guys. It was hearsay from us, but this came out. I'm not sure if you guys heard it on World News's platform. I don't have it queued up, so let me scroll up here, and here we go. Okay, I'm going to share this with y'all. Give me one sec. This is from King World News, and then he got some inside intel, supposedly, on a little bit more of what happened with Bishop. Okay? Because his little tiny butt's in a Georgia state prison, and we're seeing how they do their prisoners. Let's listen, y'all. Shout out to World News.
That Alicia got stabbed up in that bitch. I reached out to my brother in Atlanta. He's a retired Navy SEAL, because I knew that he had some people corrections to ask him for more details. That was the night it happened. He reached out to me today, and I can show you the screenshots if you want to see him. He said that when that happened to Alicia, that they also took his manhood in there. And that was in combination to the stabbing, which is the reason why he had me rushed to the hospital.
Okay, so that came from an inside source. I cannot neither confirm nor deny that these are accurate. This is hearsay, and it came from World News's camp. Again, shout out to World News. Saying that Bishop was violated. Not just with the shanks. Not just with the shanks. He got violated in the back door. Okay? And after what we're seeing, these little snips, y'all, it's believable.
Hell yeah, it's believable.
Especially when he's been in, where was he? He was in the county jail, right? Running amok in that motherfucker. Let's not forget, he was in there running amok in county jail as well.
Right. Absolutely. And you know, going to the OnlyFans, that is his forte, right? So who knows?
That's right up his alley. Shit.
He's got a good little journey coming for him. A good little journey.
I have never seen karma served so exact, right? Yep. Wasn't he doing the revenge porn?
Yeah.
Wasn't he slapping people around? Wasn't he abusing his? Now look at him getting slapped around, beat up, shanked up, and pinned up.
Him and his homies, warriors, standing outside screaming with their machetes and shit.
Outside with their machetes, Godmomma.
When Velvet's daddy, shout out to you, Pops. When he pulled up on him and Red Code happened, baby, they went and got some machetes and get the. Baby, they doing real machetes in real life.
Y'all seen it.
State prison.
Y'all seen it. They was out there on the yard talking about we outside. Those inmates that were outside are going back inside. Okay? They going right back inside to run amok. Well, the COs are nowhere to be found.
Swear to God.
But the COs ain't getting paid. Me and Godmomma discussed this, y'all. Godmomma, she sent a link for just the job search. Because what they say, they did 120 job fairs and only hire. How do you have 120 job fairs and only hire 130 people? That's crazy.
Crazy.
120 job fairs. None of us are, Reef. None of us are. And you can red ball it back to some of the stuff we played, because they're not playing over there.
Absolutely not. But we've still got some more. We're only 34 minutes into the show. We could keep y'all here till 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock in the afternoon, honey, with some and traumatize you, scare you straight to where you walk out today as a perfect citizen that you are.
Oh yeah.
But we are trying to just sum it up But we still got some more.
Well, I'm gonna play. Yeah, I've got more. So for those of y'all who have been around, those of y'all who support Tracy and Lady Law and all the people who have been over on Bigo, I don't know if you guys recall a boy named Greedy. Okay, Greedy ended up catching a case. Let me share my screen with y'all. Greedy caught a case. I think it was last year. I believe it was last year. Let me look at the date on this. This was 9 months ago. So yeah, last year, because we're in the 8th month. So last year, Greedy gets arrested. He was a big guy on Bigo. He's also bisexual. He's a bisexual. He used to have a transgender girlfriend. Hey, Mean Mug. Hey everyone. Y'all come in and hit the up like. So Greedy last year gets locked up, and I swear I thought it was a Bigo skit, because when you're on Bigo, they do a lot of skits.
Right.
So that's what I just thought this was. But let's watch a little bit of it.
Yeah, that down. Yeah, I'm good, y'all. Yeah, I'm good, y'all. Feel me, y'all. I'm good, y'all. Yeah, damn. I love y'all, all that shit. I miss y'all.
Okay, and let me give this disclaimer. Greedy's also not a violent offender. He did have some like domestic violence, I believe, on his ticket, but I don't think I'm not for sure, but I don't think his actual prison sentence was for a violent crime. Not 1,000%. Not 1,000% on that.
All this shit got down, shit just, nigga just got down, brother got down, you know how jail is. Shit got down, everyday shit, y'all. I love y'all though. I love y'all. That's all you know what I'm saying? You know, some thing about my little baby girl and shit, man. I know goddamn. Tell Jasmine shit to stop. Look out for me, you know what I'm saying? Look out for me, man. Shit, man. Goddamn.
You doing that junkie shit, bro. You don't need no money. You don't need no money. See, you still trying to get money, bro. You still trying to get money, bro. Come on, man. I'll get my phone, bro. You tripping, bro. That shit, you started trying to get money from the phone, man. Man, you know what's going on. You play the D4 money. It's the shit, man. Come on, you still trying to get money, bro. I just paid the tab. You don't need no money, bro. You don't need no money, bro. Come on, man.
You said playing with the people.
You don't need no money, bro. You tripping, my nigga. Come on, man. You trying to get me popped on that shit, my nigga.
Okay, so this is Greedy. I'm not going to play too much more of this or any more of this. So that's just Greedy and his cellmate, right? He goes live. He up there asking everybody for money. Well, then from his account, he goes live, I don't know, maybe 10 minutes later, because they got into a big old scuffle in his thing. Here we go, 10 minutes later. Look at this shit, y'all.
See? Say that again. Say that word loud.
Yeah, I just help you out.
Now say that word loud. You said them what?
Huh?
Them what help you out?
Huh?
You said them what helping you out?
I said y'all help me out, please.
But who helping you out though?
What you talking about, bro?
Who helping you out? Make that be clear.
Me, bro.
Alright, I just want y'all to know, y'all see what's going on. Nah, he ain't on no drug. But he owed a little money though. This shit, it's the low. That's all my shit at. And who just took all my trash? About 4 trays in this bitch. How many shit you took out? You took out one for him? You can have it. I get in, you good. I got one for y'all too. How much? Man, look, he owed $200, man. He owed $200. I let him go right now.
He gonna walk clean out the room.
Y'all got the cash tag, man.
They holding that man hostage.
Holding him hostage, girl.
And you calling the jail finna get on hurt. Y'all keep saying all that dumbass shit about calling the jail. Call the motherfucker. You ain't gonna get no response. That ain't gonna save the man. Calling the jail ain't gonna save him. Y'all tripping, man. I'm finna hang this bitch up. Y'all talking about calling the jail. I'm gonna hang this bitch up and let whatever happen. Fuck you talking about? Call that.
Check the private chat if you didn't. Check the private chat.
Okay. On where? Here?
On stream.
Okay.
Yeah. He said he was gonna hem his ass up. It don't matter if you call the police, you call the jail, baby. Ain't nobody gonna answer because there's no one here. Period.
And then Greedy does come back beat up after that, y'all. Greedy did get his ass beat up for that. He did. Greedy got his ass tagged for that.
It was just like, what?
Well, someone did end up calling, right?
Right.
We got that, don't we, Godmomma?
We got that.
We got the call where somebody did call for Greedy. Okay? Because there was people truly concerned, and they should have been, because Greedy did get handled in there. Greedy
and he's
was
still in there.
He was supposed to be released in March. He is still locked up and still playing Bigo antics. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
So clearly he got with the program real quick. Whoever sent him that 200 saved his life, I guess.
Yeah.
But let's listen. Oh, go ahead, Godmomma.
No, I was just saying, if someone catches wind that Nature Boy can be extorted, baby. Y'all, all y'all 2,000, 1,000, 1,500 donators, are y'all gonna save your boy when he pull up like ISIS on there?
Okay. They holding people hostage and they're extorting people for $200 and they doing all kinds of drugs and everything else. But let's listen to the caller who called and let's listen to the response. Let's go. Oh, I got to give y'all some volume up.
Your phone is cutting.
I'm sorry?
Your phone keeps cutting out.
Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Okay, there's an inmate in Weir State Prison that is currently being held hostage with like weapons on live right now. There's allegedly no guards. I've tried to call the prison. I can't get a hold of anybody. But they have like the shanks out. This inmate's name is Abdul Wow. And he's currently right now on live being held hostage for ransom. They're threatening to kill him. They exposed the fact that he likes transgender women. He's a social media influencer who obtained a cell phone in prison, went live, asked people to send him lots of money. Because he did that, he was targeted. And the following day, now they're like literally with weapons on live threatening to kill him if the people don't send him money.
Okay, and this is going on right now?
Right now, at the present time, at Weird State Prison.
And it's on Facebook, TikTok?
No, it's on Bigo Live TV. It's BIGO Live TV.
Okay. So I don't want to play the rest of that call because it gives out, they didn't blur out her government, her phone number, so I won't play the rest of it because it gives out all her information. But you can see right there, somebody called. On Bigo Live, there is somebody in the prison being held hostage. Okay? And we watched it. And we watched it.
And the sad thing is everybody thought maybe this was a play. But if they did any research on Weir State Prison, no, baby, that was real time. I'll listen to... I'll go find the link to the Facebook group if any of you want to go, do your research or even maybe join the cause that they have going on. But there were 911 calls from Weir State Prison and they were awful. Just every stabbing. I need you to send an ambulance. Somebody's been stabbed. An officer was attacked.
There was also a gun found on one of the state prison locations. We'll get to that too. So there's weapons of all kinds, y'all. A gun was smuggled in and an officer was killed and then the inmate killed himself. They were in a relationship. I'm going to cue that up. So it's not just, listen, they got porn, rape, drugs, knives. That sounds typical prison. But these motherfuckers now y'all getting guns? in this mug.
Right.
They've had criminals escaping at all-time numbers because of lack of staff. It's just Georgia. I'm not sure what's going on. And like I said, the feds have had to step in. The Georgia Bureau of Investigations have had to step in numerous times. There are numerous lawsuits against the Georgia state prisons. You see what's going on with the Young Thug situation. You see what's going on with Fanny and her situation. So Georgia, I don't really know too many people that live in Georgia personally. But those who do, y'all, what's going on over there? And I know Texas ain't no better, but Texas, you ain't really getting too much, cell phone. Once they find out, baby, you in lockdown for a really long time. They put people in segregation for, you go into the SHU for 6 months.
Well, see, that's what I'm saying. Like, most times I would say, yeah, prisoners shouldn't be able to have access to cell phones. But in situations like this, prisoners should definitely be able to have access to cell phones, or else no one would know, what's going on in there. No one. And in my opinion, who knows? It could go either way, right? You take the audience away, they have nobody to perform for. But also you take the audience away, there's no one there to hold them accountable either.
Right. Yeah, I think, I did agree with Nikki said, I think they should have social media just so we can see what's going on. Especially when it's stuff like this.
Right.
And, nobody wants to work there. That's just what it all comes down to. In Texas, I know they will shut down a prison. They will bring in the National Guard in a fucking heartbeat. Let these inmates start acting a little bit too friendly, a little too, y'all want to start rioting and acting up. Texas shuts off water for their inmates. Texas shuts off electricity for their inmates. They will punish the entire fuck out of you. And then that's when the prison, the actual cellmates start putting in some order, because they need their phone time. They need their rec time. So they're going to handle the troublemakers themselves. I'm all for a good prison politics, but not like this, y'all. Not when y'all are, doing OnlyFans. Come on now. What kind of, you shanking people up to get them on OnlyFans. I'm concerned. I'm concerned.
Forcing people because certain people liked what they saw, so now you're that's a little too much.
Yeah, I think it degrees on the classification and how you've been in jail to get some cell phone privilege. I agree with you though, Nikki. It would make things easier for people to reintegrate, keep up with their family, keep up with their kids. A lot of these inmates are parents.
Yeah.
And, they're living in this, and they're just, some of them are trying to get home. Not all of them. Some of them are lifers. But some of them are trying to get home, and having to live in this and then just get released, and even to a halfway house. Because I have a homie that used to work at a halfway house, and they don't even offer too much rehabilitation program. It's more like, go get a job and follow our rules. That's basically it.
Right.
Keep your room clean. Don't be, they don't really give them work programs, things of that, dealing with narcotics, having to get out and not really having a 12-step or an NA or, some type of narcotic counselor available. They don't really offer a lot of that in some of these halfway homes.
Right. No.
So that's the purpose of getting people in prison, is so when they get back out, they don't want to offend, but you're not giving them any tools to do that. If anything, you're making them better criminals.
Right. We don't have any rehabilitation in the prison system. Absolutely not. Absolutely not. You can say, in certain prisons, you can say, well, if you get into the programs and you keep your head down, but sometimes that can also make you a target. And what we're witnessing in Georgia state prisons is they literally run themselves. So when a race war breaks out or a gang war breaks out at one state prison in Georgia and the next one catches wind of it, they then ensue the same, they follow the pattern, and then the next one catches it, and that's what they've been battling for the longest time, because the inmates have so much freedom because no one works there, that they can communicate with each other and get going whatever they need. They don't have to have people passing contraband physically anymore. They just do drone drops. People come with drones, drop them off over the prison, and they leave. Most of the times they get caught, but there are a lot of times that they don't get caught.
And another thing they were saying, I was watching an interview. I have a whole playlist. I'll share it with you guys in the chat. Let me close out of here. That I made yesterday. It's got about 20-ish videos, 19, 20 videos of just some of the stuff that I peeped and what's going on. But one of the guys was saying, they were like, how do you guys get cell phones in here and stuff? They were like, look, the metal detector usually at visitation doesn't work. They're like, so we tell our girls to put it this way, that way, blah, 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 wear extra jewelry, blah, blah, blah. I mean, they know how their own system, like, how does a prisoner even know that the freaking thing isn't working, right? It's because my girl came through and she said the metal detector didn't work. Then that spreads like wildfire through the fire. Then they have, oh yeah, this is the time. So they know their weakest links. They know this door doesn't lock. It's just out of control over there. And yes, Norway is. I looked that up. Norway is like a heaven send. Okay, that's not jail. That is a true rehabilitation facility. Okay, they got murderers walking around just free as can be. Norway is a decent prison. It really is. But okay, so while I was digging, guys, another huge state prison is Smith State Prison. Smith and McCone are a lot alike. Well, all the Georgia prisons are a lot alike, but Smith and McCone are a lot alike as far as just not having any supervision, just weapons, whatever. And I found this one guy and I said, damn, this is how Bishop could be living if he had some act right. Y'all, look at this gentleman here. Let me scroll up. Let me close out. Okay, first of all, this guy here, love galore. I don't want to blast anybody and get anybody in trouble, but who's gonna tell? He's up here on TikTok posting. He just posted this, I think, yesterday. He in there with the Rolex. He in there with all kinds of stuff. I mean, it's just
who's gonna care?
Who's gonna care? He in here talking about when you love SZA. So he just in there grooving. He got his Rolex out.
Shut up, bitch. Come put that ass on me. No, I ain't got.
So, where's this other video? He was sitting on the bed with 2 machetes. Oh, and this right here, guys. This right here is a paid advertisement. He got paid for. It's a paid partnership. If you can see over here, a paid partnership with Flying Master. So this guy gets so many views on TikTok, which I'm not mad at, but he's getting a paid partnership. In prison. And this guy's getting out December 2025. So I'm going to be following his journey in there. I haven't seen him go live yet. And he doesn't show anything. He doesn't show anything violent at all.
No.
His page, he's just in there being silly. But I said, dang, this is how Bishop could have been living. But he don't know how to act.
He don't know how to act. And he's got the rest of his life to adjust to the prison system if he survives. So, we may end up seeing Eligio come out soon with the cell phone, and I think he may know how to play his cards right. I think this little stabbing and situation may just be his initiation. Or it may be an ongoing threat of life for him. However,
I mean, he might not make it.
But he may join the Muslims, but the Muslims may not want him. I don't know. Because as you can see, they have free access to the internet. I'm sure if we...
they look people up. Oh, yeah, they definitely look people up.
And I'm sure that since we've done our research, other people have done their research, and we all know how the Nature Boy sector gets down. So, we may be popping up with some pen pals here soon. You know what I'm saying? You never freaking know what's going to happen. But I do if he does balance himself out, I really do foresee him creating another online presence for himself. If Macon isn't heavily guarded or manned like that. Because they're not going to be, if they don't have the staff, they're not going to be able to do anything with him, really. Maybe keep him segregated off to the side a little bit, but hell, they're damn near maxed out with prisoners.
Yeah, they were saying that's another thing is the overcrowding. Look at this nigga sitting on the bed with two big ass machete looking things, talking about I'm a scissor stand. Boy, that's how he able to stay safe. This nigga got two of them. Oh my goodness.
Now we gonna see.
Oh boy. So that's what's going on over there in the prison. It's the inmates for me. For the high offenders, I'm not really concerned. Y'all just gonna have to figure it out.
Right.
It's the low level offenders that I'm like, okay, hey, there needs to be something in here.
Right.
Some type of, that's a prison. Where's the COs? Y'all just got to do better over there. It's very unfortunate. There is, like I said, several lawsuits.
There was one story, right, where a man, I don't think he wasn't in I forget which one it is. It may have been Smith. I'm not sure. But he hadn't been in the prison long. I went and researched his crime. His crime was non-violent. He stole a vehicle and ran up in somebody's house, but no one was there. No one was injured. He was just a habitual offender. You could tell he was probably like a dope head, right? And when they finally found the man, he was underneath his bed. He had cigarette burns all over his body. He had a huge burn on the back of his neck. He had broken ribs. He had lacerations to the body. It was a nightmare. A nightmare. And then the sister ended up catching wind of it. So she kind of did what Malia and all of them were doing, were talking about. She went to the hospital. The hospital told her, if you come back here, you're going to prison.
Yes. Trespass. This is it right here on the screen, Godmomma. This gentleman here, Christian Kroc or Crouch, I'm not sure how to pronounce it, was found under his bed. He had many injuries, as many as 2 weeks old. Several brain bleeds, traumatic brain bleed possibility, had a stroke, facial fractures. Both eyes were black, broken clavicle, broken ribs, front and back, broken thoracic bone in his back. Air in his chest cavity, multiple bruises, cigarette burns, saucer-sized burn on his left upper thigh. That was necrotic, okay? Dying, dead flesh. More than 100 lacerations. The bottom of the feet had been severely slashed. He is on dialysis. He has a feeding tube, a catheter, a chest tube. He is on a ventilator. He is listed in critical condition. He was not only severely beaten, he was tortured. So, and this would, look at this old Mr. Christian Crotch or whatever, just a habitual, regular, in and out, regular, can't make up my mind if I want to be sober today or not guy. And then his sister comes in and she says, hey, I'm his sister. I need to correct a couple things. And she does. And it was just the date, and she says that some of the wounds went back as far as like 3 weeks or something. So, if you got loved ones in prison, keep in touch with them.
Please do. Please.
If you got loved ones in prison, keep in touch with them. We're going to switch over to this tab over here. This is about an inmate that gets a gun in the prison. Okay? How? I do not know. Did they investigate it? Well, that's what they said they did. Let's see what they talk about.
Murder inside a Georgia State prison over the weekend.
Investigators say an inmate managed to get a gun inside Smith State Prison and then killed the kitchen staffer before turning the gun on himself. Tonight, investigators say they believe the inmate and victim had a relationship. Fox 5's Rob D'Arienzo has been digging into the details of this very alarming story. Rob?
Yeah, and the biggest concern tonight is people really aren't sure about how that inmate managed to get his hands on a gun behind bars at one of the state's maximum security prisons and then use it. The Department of Corrections still does not have an explanation for us tonight, but we've since learned that the kitchen employee killed early Sunday morning was just 24 years old. The Georgia Department of Corrections says inmate Jadrakis Hart shot the Aramark food service worker inside Smith State Prison in southeast Georgia early Sunday morning. She's been identified as 24-year-old Orion Grace. The prison says Hart then turned the gun on himself.
That, to me, is shocking to the conscious, and I hope that this is a wake-up call for the Georgia Department of Corrections.
Joshua Schiffer has practiced criminal law in Georgia for 2 decades. He says this incident demonstrates a complete failure by the Department of Corrections leaders.
This institution, Smith, is a notorious institution because it's a high-security institution dealing with some of Georgia's most dangerous and threatening inmates.
Back in October, investigators say an inmate there shanked 42-year-old guard Robert Clark to death from behind. Earlier last year, the GBI charged the prison's warden in a sprawling contraband conspiracy. Hart was serving time for voluntary manslaughter and aggravated battery from a 2015 case out of Carroll County. His earliest release date would have been 2043.
This wasn't a shank or a piece of wood or a razor blade. This was a firearm with ammunition, and everybody needs to realize how dangerous this situation was and how indefensible this death is.
The entire state correctional system has been under a years-long federal investigation into allegations of civil rights abuses. The state legislature just formed a committee to review it from top to bottom.
This example is an unfortunate reflection of what's happening in Georgia prisons as a whole.
As Georgia's prisons as a whole.
Listen, that video they showed that was blurred where they were dragging that young man. I watched that video and honey, it was y'all check on y'all loved ones. I know there's when it comes to being inside of a prison, there's really not much outsiders can do. But joining coalitions and things like that can really help when it comes to changing laws and wardens. Because as we heard, the warden was alleged conspiracy of providing contraband. To the prisoners. So all of it is
and think of how bad that could have turned with that firearm, Godmomma.
Right.
He could have taken the whole prison over. He could have taken the whole prison over.
Absolutely.
Where are you getting it from? That's crazy.
Them drone drops.
It's insane. So they are just running amok over there in Georgia State Prison. Bishop, you're right. These are your people. Wasn't he bragging about he did prison time, right? Wasn't he bragging about that shit?
Yeah. In Georgia.
In Georgia.
You're Caesar, remember? You're home.
Yeah. Oh, I'm Billy Badass. Okay. And he was there for how long?
Right. And he said that he would have all of the OGs bowing down to him. Obviously not. Obviously not.
Okay.
Whew.
And I don't want y'all to think that they're not trying to do anything, because they are. However, they just need a revamp of some of the. They just need a revamp. But here, this is one of the things that they're trying to implement to try and cut back, because they have a huge. We're not getting into all the videos that we did watch over the weekend. You guys need to go check for yourselves, do your own research. But drugs is rampant, and they're forcing inmates to do drugs.
Mm-hmm.
It's not like, oh, I came in with a habit. No, they go on and they're like, no, you hit this shit. And it's K2, it's roach spray, it's fentanyl, it's all kinds of weird shit. And it's got these men seized up all in a corner, and then they do as they please. The prisoners do as they please with them. Turn around and make an OnlyFans video with them. You know, just assault them. They steal their PIN numbers and go and do their commissary stuff.
Yeah. Or just get them addicted to that high so they now can extort them for other things, money, commissary, all the things that you mentioned. Like, it's real nasty work in there.
And this is just the tip of the iceberg, guys, because there are some real gang leaders in there calling some heavy shots on the outside. There was a hold on, let me pull this one up, Godmomma, the guy who did the heist. Or did I send that one to you, or is it in my oh, I did send it to you. Okay, cool. Let me pull this one up. I found this one extremely fucking interesting. I said, wait, what? This video shocked me. Like I said, this is just the tip of the freaking iceberg. Let me share my screen with y'all. This was insane to hear. And this is older. This is a little bit older. This video is from about a year ago. But let's watch it together.
Called one of the biggest heists ever pulled off from behind bars. A 31-year-old Georgia prison inmate allegedly stealing $11 million from a Hollywood movie mogul. News Nation's Sloan Glass is here. Sloan, there could be even more victims.
That's right, Nicole. And the feds say Arthur Lee Crawford Jr. pulled off a heist that was right out of the movies. And they say he did it all while in a maximum security facility that houses Georgia's most hardened criminals.
Federal authorities say this is the mastermind behind a massive heist. 31-year-old Arthur Lee Caulfield Jr. used contraband cell phones to call and convince a Charles Schwab customer service representative to wire $11 million out of Sidney Kimmel's account. He then sent the money to Idaho, bought more than 6,000 gold coins, flew them on a private plane to Atlanta, where Caulfield allegedly used some of the money to buy a mansion. The scheme was uncovered back in 2020, but recent court documents revealed it was Kimmel who was the victim. Kimmel owned the Jones Apparel Company, which has brands like Stuart Weitzman and Nine West. He sold that company in 2014 for $2.2 billion. And now, at age 94, makes movies with his production company. Caulfield is a documented gang member, serving a 14-year sentence for armed robbery and has been masterminding crime from behind bars for a while. He is facing attempted murder charges for ordering a shooting in Atlanta while locked up. It is suspected that Kimmel was not the only wealthy person Caulfield stolen from, but it may be the prisoner's biggest take. A federal prosecutor in court said Mr. Caulfield has figured out a way to access accounts belonging to high net worth individuals, frankly, billionaires, located across the country.
Kimmel's attorney says his client didn't lose any money. Charles Schwab covered the stolen money and contacted authorities. Caulfield and two accessories have pled not guilty to charges of conspiracy to commit bank fraud and money laundering. Nicole.
Wow. Okay. Sloan, thank you.
Right. Wow.
From behind bars. This nigga, boy. $11 million.
Nature boy, you better humble yourself, because you may be able to become a millionaire in that house. Okay? You better humble yourself, my guy. Period. Or don't. You know? Or don't. Fuck it. Be the motherfucker getting dragged down the hall, bleeding out. And the other one dragging you, talking about clean up the blood. Y'all clean this up. And you dead halfway down the damn, because they about to roll you out, as they say. put you in the shower and roll you out.
Yeah, they're gonna roll you out, hack you out. That's crazy. So that's what's going. And you heard that guy only had a 14-year sentence.
Right.
Only had a 14-year sentence.
It's
And
like
now
they
he got
don't give
another
a
charge
fuck.
for
For
making
real.
somebody for throwing out a hit, and then another charge for embezzlement, not embezzlement, but fraud.
Right.
That's what they doing. So when Nikki's saying, they should have some cell phones. Well, they're criminals. These Negroes are criminals, okay? And they don't need it. Hell no, not if y'all gonna be doing this, that, and the other. And that fell on the company, right? Who the fuck transfers $11 million just via phone call? Man, that motherfucker got a mouthpiece on him, don't he?
I swear.
He got a mouthpiece on him. So they shooting their girl lovers. They're scamming $11 million. They walking around with machetes. They doing TikTok dances. Baby, it's going down in Georgia State prisons
with no guards inside.
With no guards.
And the guards in the videos that you can find with guards, hell, I seen one video, a man is laying out on the yard bleeding out, and the guard just walks by. He turns and looks over his shoulder, and he just kept on walking. And I'm like, what the fuck? And the dude was like, man, can you help me? And he just, nope.
Nope. Because he's understaffed. There was, I saw another video where a female guard was enabling it, basically. She opened the door and kind of stood by and then was like, y'all clean this shit up, hurry up, get back to your rooms.
Yeah.
So the guards enable it. Not only are they understaffed, the staff that they do have are getting paid better by the inmates.
Yeah.
To allow them to get away with this stuff. So I keep hearing, the feds are this, that. When are y'all coming in? Y'all need to do how Texas do. Governor Abbott has no problem using the National Guard against us. None. He will call in, what are the Texas Marshals? The reinforcements are coming to the prison, period.
As they should.
So Georgia, what are y'all doing?
Right. They talking about we've been investigating this for over a year. What? It don't
How
take
many
no
people
year.
have died in that year?
Right.
From bed bug bites. There was a family that they're suing Georgia State Prison or Department of Corrections for their family member dying of bed bug bites. Like, he was covered. It was disgusting, right?
Yeah.
I mean, infested. I ain't ever seen bed bugs like that. And he had been complaining. In his last words, bless his heart, his last words were, "Get me help. Get me help. I'm gonna die in here." And then 4 days later, he was dead.
Yeah.
I said, oh my God. Let me see if I can pull that one up so y'all can see it, because prisoner dies of bed bugs.
It's just, I don't know. There was just so many videos of people getting attacked, prisoners getting attacked by other inmates, them running, asking for help. No one would help because there was no one there to help. The inmates would literally have to deal with their stab wounds on their own. And it's just, I don't know. Like I said, probably 30, 45 minutes ago, it's really giving that let them kill each other out. Because a lot of them in there are gang members. And we know how society and they, I'm using air quotes, feel about gangs. So why not, and this is just me being, I guess, whatever, the devil's advocate, right? Why not just let them kill each other out? What good are they to society? And it kind of hurts my tongue to even say that, but I don't know. Because if we've been investigating this for a year and nothing has been done, it just keeps getting worse and worse and worse. That's exactly the message that you're giving.
Well, this is the latest investigation because they were also looked back to in 2022 as well. So this is the latest investigation that's been going on for a year. They had another one, and I haven't looked too deep to see what the outcome was of the last ones before this, but they've been multiple times, y'all. They've been investigated. Family members have had enough. Now they're calling on taxpayers to speak up. You know, it's unfortunate. Okay, I do have this queued up. This was very sad to me. Oh, I need to share my screen. Sorry about that. There we go. Yeah, this was sad to hear. Let's watch, family.
The Fulton County Jail is now demanding action.
They say he was essentially eaten alive by insects and bed bugs while in custody. Tracy A. McPierce spoke with him just hours ago. She's joining us now live from the Fulton County Courthouse. Tracy?
Well, LaShawn Thompson had been held in the psych wing of the jail for 3 months when an officer found him unresponsive in his cell. His family tells me by that point, they couldn't even recognize him.
He was definitely a heavy-set guy, and from those pictures, he looks totally different. He's not the same person.
Brad McCrae says these pictures of his brother that he shared with us, 35-year-old LaShawn Thompson, are hard to look at. His cell at the Fulton County Jail covered in filth, and his body covered in sores and bites from bed bugs and lice.
It looked like he wasn't eating in jail, or malnutrition, or maybe the bed bugs did it.
The Fulton County Medical Examiner report lists his cause of death as undetermined, but noted a severe bedbug infestation. The family says Thompson was brought to the jail on a misdemeanor simple battery charge in June and was put in the psych wing because the jail was aware of his schizophrenia. They are now demanding the jail be closed and law enforcement open a criminal investigation.
So we need a change in the system.
The Fulton County Sheriff's Office told 11 Alive its Office of Professional Standards is investigating Thompson's death and will determine if criminal charges are warranted. The agency wouldn't speak to us on camera today, but said in a statement it spent $500,000 to address an infestation of bedbugs, lice, and other vermin after Thompson's death, and updated security rounds to include addressing sanitary conditions. Now, the family's attorney tells me they're doing their own investigation to determine if the bug bites caused the infection that killed Thompson. They say if they get that proof, they intend to sue.
Very disturbing.
So, from what I've heard, they have already started that lawsuit.
But you know, I don't know if you have any of those, and if you don't, it's fine. But there were videos of inmates showing the food that they were served. A lot of it had one plate had ants all in it. His plate was still.
That. Is it on? I didn't see any of that.
It was on that Facebook page, but I couldn't tell you exactly where.
I'll go look. Go ahead.
But there were ants all. He showed the plate was still covered. You know, they put that top on it, and there were just ants all in it. There was another video where the man had mouse turds in his food that was being served to him. There was food that was basically just liquid. They didn't know what it was. So a lot of those people do starve. If they don't have commissary, if they don't have people on the outside sending them money to buy them food, most of them are malnourished. A lot of there were videos where they would turn on the water inside of their room and it was brown. There was a video where dude turned on the water in his room, went to the public shower room, and the water drips this weird blue color. And it turned his whole rag blue. So they definitely, y'all know me. I love a good conspiracy, right? I really think they definitely be experimenting on them people, and they leave them see what social experiments. What else is the explanation for this? That no one really cares.
Yeah.
We care, right? Because we care enough to we cared enough to make a show. We cared enough to do deep dive research. We cared enough to bring it to the public. But I'm saying as a whole, as citizens, as a community, as a nation, we don't really care what happens once that person goes to prison until it affects us directly. And that was a conversation me and my husband had last night. How do you fight a system where you can literally lock someone up with no evidence and prove the crime against them? We saw Kamala Harris do it a lot as acting prosecutor. How do you fight a system that just wants to fill the cup where they can, and that's a sad reality that we don't really pay attention to because we like to believe in the system.
Yep.
See, these are things that happen in the prison. And why they allow prisoners to have belts, I don't understand. Trigger warning for those who this is a little rough sometimes.
It is.
But these are things that happen. They've basically dog walking this man around, beating him up on camera for the whole world to see.
And again, I understand that as a prison is. I'm okay with certain degrees of, hey, you're a chomo, we're gonna take you out. Okay, cool. Take them out. Some of these people, like the other guy said, he was just in there for assault or something, right? Dying of bed bugs. He just happened to have schizophrenia.
Right.
Not a single officer inside trigger warning.
Trigger warning.
Got one on a high-speed chase. I can't breathe, bro. That nigga lip hanging off.
Trigger warning, guys. Huge trigger warning. And I don't even want to go through all these because I watched quite a bit. I was seeing if we could find the one about the ants and the trays.
And no guards in sight. This man's whole face just got sliced up. The other one was laying on the ground, bleeding out. And people, it's just another day in Mr. Rogers' neighborhood in the Department of Corrections in Georgia. It's just another normal day. And then, to hear the 911 calls, right, to piece it all together, to then hear to know that guards are not there every single day, that guards are there maybe every other day, 3 times a week, 4 times, who knows, that when those 911 calls are happening, these are not day after day after day. There's time in between when a guard is there and when there's not. So when there's not a guard there, there's literally no one to call 911.
Yeah. Yeah.
There's no one to get you to the infirmary to call for an ambulance. And as you can tell in the video she just showed, no other inmate is about to go hunt down and chase down an infirmary person.
Hell no.
They're gonna let you bleed out.
They're not getting in it. They're not getting in it, Godmomma. They're not.
Life in the Department of Corrections. I am scared.
I was gonna say though,
I don't know about y'all, but hey, I'm scared straight. Okay.
Yeah, scared straight for sure.
That blue one right there, in between that man fighting, that's that water one. Mm-hmm.
This is the water one.
That's the whole red, blue. Oh God.
Oh God.
Proof coming out of the water. Good. Yeah, you would have said that blue shit is, but that's the shower and we keep leaving. Yeah, that shit is.
Oh, that looked like some chlorine or something in the
I
water.
don't know what that is.
Looked like some damn chlorine.
So we definitely, prison reform, as they like to call it, should definitely be, we like to kind of add, since we're in, excuse me, I'm all over the place. You can thank Mercury retrograde for that. But since we're in the season of
Hold on, I'm
politics, and you're okay, and voting for a president, we've been kind of given, crumbs of things we should be paying attention to as to what each candidate is talking about. And prison reform needs to go on that list. What are we going to do as tax-paying citizens, as the person who is in control? And so this trickles down to your governors and all of that. What are y'all going to do to solve this problem that we have?
Yeah, because we're giving millions of dollars to weaponized police force tasks, right?
Mm-hmm.
But what's on the other side of this?
Right.
What's on the other side of that? Why aren't we giving millions of dollars to mental health and adding that into our prison systems? Because a lot of these criminals, like Nikki had said, they've got some stuff going on.
Mm-hmm. Right.
So all these millions and billions of dollars we're spending for wars and I mean, some of these people need rehabilitation in the most intense ways. And this right here, what's this little video? This don't look like no damn rehab. I mean, maybe it's teaching a nigga a lesson. Okay, yeah, don't steal. Look at this. They got weapons.
Oh, this is gladiator school, baby.
Oh,
that motherfucker took off. You hear me? I don't blame you, bro.
I mean, where could he go though?
What exactly? Where can you go in this situation? Where the hell can you go? I was showing my husband some of the videos, and he was like, "Oh, that's gladiator school for real."
Yeah.
But the sad part is that they will go home and repeat offend and go right back to that chaos. So that's why I totally agree with you that mental health has to be
implemented.
Yes, has to, because there's a disconnect there where you survive in that chaos, you come home, and then you do something to go back to that chaos. There's something that needs to be healed in that situation, right?
Correct. And
because that's different.
Some of these offenders
just wanting a toxic relationship because you're bored.
Right. Well, some of these offenders are in there with family members. Oh, my dad did 18 years. My so-and-so. When I was watching the women's prisons, they're, so it's generational. And like Nikki saying, hey, it's easy for us to say, don't break the law, I'm going to be good. But, there's people that are innocent that are in there.
Uh-huh. And that's what I was speaking to. Like, what can you do in a system where even the innocent suffer the same consequences as the guilty?
Yes. What's up, Dougie Fresh? Hey, baby. We're just up here chopping it up about Georgia State Prison, seeing what's going. We're just getting the lay of the land of what Bishop's really facing. I found the ant one though, Godmomma. Let's look at these ants. Oh, damn.
That's what my breakfast tray looks like in the morning.
Oh no. Hell no. Hell no. Listen, that was my hardest thing in my little county jail days, okay? Was the food, because I don't eat a lot of meat. So it was hard for me to be in there like, we don't offer vegetarian. You can have yourself a peanut butter sandwich. Bitch, I can't live off no peanut. I don't even eat peanut butter in the free world. What the fuck I look like anyway?
And
but that right there, and Nikki pointed it out too, how food, it correlates with your mental health. So now you trapped up in this place, they feeding you fucking bugs. We are not in a third world country, y'all.
No.
I could understand if this was Colombia. I could understand if this was El Salvador. I could understand if this was, one of them. It ain't. This is America. Come on now. If I get caught on let me knock on wood, if I get hemmed up on my charge, right, a DUI, that don't mean I deserve to eat ants. Right? You know what I'm saying?
No, you don't deserve to.
Especially if I didn't get in an accident and hit nobody else, cause a collision. I just was, I was doing a little speed and got pulled over swaying. You know what I mean?
Right.
Regular DUI. It wasn't aggravated. It wasn't reckless driving. It wasn't anything like that. All right? And I got to go sit in jail and eat this bullshit. Y'all got me fucked up. So,
yeah, it's disheartening for real.
It really is. So if you were to end up in prison wrongfully or otherwise, should you have to endure this on top of being taken away from society? Absolutely not.
No.
Absolutely not. And this is just Georgia State Prison. We're not going to stick on prisons. That's not what we are. We're not prison advocates, prison reform advocates. We're just concerned citizens, and some stuff we started digging into. I am very familiar with the prison system. I'm not familiar with it like that, but I'm very familiar with the wrongdoings all across the nation. Okay. I was looking up Louisiana, Georgia, Alabama. And we didn't even make it to the women's. We haven't even made it to the women's side where they're getting raped by the COs.
Right.
Getting pregnant by the COs. And then they're getting charged with that as well. Mm-hmm. Oh, you're pregnant, you're getting charged. Well, it was rape. You're still getting charged. What?
Yeah.
We haven't even made it to the women's side, and we're not going to, because that's not what we're at today. But y'all, prison reform needs to take place. And I'm not sure where to even start. I don't even know where to start with that. Obviously, with the court situation, right? It starts there. We don't need to be sending weed heads or weed dealers to jail, right?
Right.
We don't, I think prison needs to be reserved for certain people.
Absolutely.
And instead of prison, we should have more rehabilitation facilities. That's just how I feel.
Right.
I don't have a degree in any of this, so these are just my NAB opinions.
And that's what's going to have to take place. It's going to have, kind of what we've learned listening to 504 and her advocacy work, right? That's what's going to have to take place. The same type of vibe. You get lawyers, you get senators, you get House Representative members, you get different degree holding doctors, and you come together and try to come up with solutions that benefit everyone, the taxpayer, the inmate, and the state, and the officers, the nurses, the staff that have to man the prisons. Because being a correctional officer is not an easy job. So none of today, in my opinion, or on my behalf, is to necessarily downgrade the correctional officers, because like I said at the beginning, Georgia is only wanting to pay them $23 an hour. We're in 2024 where expenses are high, where rent is $2,500, $1,500, $3,000, depending upon your family size. Groceries are at an all-time high. Gas, all-time. So, I don't blame them necessarily, because it is a hard job to do. And I surely wouldn't want to do it. I would not want to risk my life every day for $23 an hour. And then if prison does get on lockdown, I'm stuck until we're off lockdown. And the way these inmates act, we on lockdown every day.
Yeah.
A warden, we didn't play that clip, but in one of the state prisons, they went and stabbed the warden. Killed the warden.
Yes, they did.
So it's not safe for anyone in any of these prisons. You got to get down and lay down, period. It ain't no or. It ain't no get down or lay down. No, it's and. You got to get down and lay down, period. Okay. Keep fucking around. Y'all sit out here all hard body, banging y'all chest on this here internet. But the reason why we do that and y'all do that is because, at the end of the day, it's a lot safer than going outside and bopping. Because you may end up in Macon County, Telefair, Smith.
There was another Watson or Ware.
All of them. I think it was 34 in all state prisons in Georgia.
Yep.
Georgia be acting a fool. Okay, period. It's just, I don't know. I think if they gave them some other things to do, maybe, I don't know, maybe they wouldn't be so violent towards each other if they had other things to do, like help participate in cleaning up their state, cleaning up their highways, cleaning up their cities. Make them feel like they're giving back to society in a way instead of just locking them up as caged animals and letting them fend for themselves.
I did agree with the work release program until I saw the Angola plantation in Louisiana. I said, "Oh no, bitch. Cancel that work release program right now. This is just slaves at this point. Ain't nothing but Negroes out in the field, and y'all riding horses for them to go pick and harvest." I said, "Oh no."
Yeah.
For 2 cents an hour. Oh no, baby.
I mean,
then they got the tent program in Arizona, girl. When I was looking into other prisons before, I said, wait, let's just stick with Georgia State. When I was looking, they got Negroes living outside in Arizona, but their time gets served faster if they chose the outside tents. But can you imagine 115 degree? Oh, baby, hell no. Living outside in a dusty tent. It's just prison reform all across. But if it gets your time faster, okay.
This is my opinion. Should a person serving 2, 3, 5 years have to, quote unquote, perform slave labor? No. I don't agree with that. But if you're in that motherfucker for 10, 15, 20, 50 life plus, you gonna have to do something. I'm sorry.
Yeah,
if you just doing a quick rollover, fine. Fine. Clean up the prison, serve food, make food, all those cute little things. Yeah. But the motherfuckers who's in there for a hard time, long time, y'all need to be doing something else. Because all these stabbings and killings, and we gotta pay for y'all motherfuckers to get airlifted, and medical supplies are not cheap, period. Medical transportation is not cheap, period. All of that is expensive as hell. The 13th Amendment definitely changed prison into slavery. Absolutely. We talk about that a lot. The school to prison pipeline. Absolutely.
Yes. And that's what Louisiana was giving, because there was people that had been in there since they were 16. This nigga's 83. I said, damn.
Sad. It's really sad. Yeah, but you have to have some people get in there to change it up that can't be bought out and have quote unquote righteous or humane or civil ethics. Yeah. That is just pro-humanity, basically. You can't have someone who's pro-black, pro-white, pro-Mexican, pro-Chinese, pro-Guatemalan, pro-Hispanic. You have to have someone that is pro-human. Because when it's not pro-human, other people suffer. Regardless of, yes. Absolutely. And that's what we witnessed. Inhumane. And it was unfortunate that a lot of the videos that we found of crimes being committed were of our black and brown brothers and brothers. But again, that goes back to the prison, the school to prison pipeline, not giving them any other options but what they're presented with. growing up in environments where that is the quote unquote norm.
Right.
Not having any type of outside influence that projects a different type of reality or lifestyle. You know, these children are these young adults are listening to this music where this type of lifestyle is promoted. This type of lifestyle is seemed as, you know, you're someone in their society.
Glamorized.
Yeah, and it's sad. It really is. It's sad because I don't know what to do. You know what I mean?
Well, like I was saying, there's some people that are generationally in there.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, my son just caught a charge. He ain't here. I hate this for him. I never wanted him to go down this route. And I think that's why there should be some more work with that, with the prisoners, as far as rehabilitation, including the families with that. And like we said earlier, and Dougie Fresh, I know you dropped down and said something about it, that you got a family member in there. Keep in touch with them. Keep in touch with them. I know when I got released from my little county jail, I went back and blessed the books heavily for the girls that I had, you know, been bunked up with. I went back and, you know, paid it a little bit forward. Because while I was in there, I was there was only like 3 of us that had people we could call. You know, it's unfortunate. I'm like, yo, I'm calling my goddaughter. I'm calling Boop Boop. I'm like, yo, do a 3-way so she can try and get some money. And when they was getting money, it's like, oh, here's $10. I'm getting blessed with $250 every other week. So I'm looking out for other people while I was there. And then when I got out, I turned around and put it in. But these people just don't have anybody. There's nobody that, you know, people are on the outside trying to take care of the family members that were left behind, right? Oh, now I've got to raise your kids. I can't send you. It's a very fucked up system. And there does need to be some reform for sure.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So, whoo, what a show. What a show.
What? Right?
It was I will.
Heavy.
Okay, good. Yeah. Keep in touch with those loved ones you have on the other side of the fence. You know.
I mean, that's so unmanned that I even watched a video where a man was trying to escape over the fence through the razor wire, and he was just caught. He was caught. And I mean, who was going to come get him? No one.
No, they have that's another thing. They had four back in 2017, Georgia had a huge state manhunt for 4 prisoners that had broke out. They had killed 2 officers. It was just a mess. It was a mess going on. And but again, so that's the furthest I had seen was 2017 is how far the Georgia State Prison has been lacking in correctional officers. They had busted out a window, cut open the fence, bloop, bloop, bloop. And then another people were on transport, got through the transport bus line and grabbed the guy's gun and shot him. And I mean, Georgia State Prison's been dealing with this for some years. This isn't recent. We just happen to show you guys the recent activity, but this isn't recent to them at all. And for those people who are from Georgia or who are familiar with the Georgia prison system, they know what's up over there. They know what's up over there. So yeah, after all these videos, y'all, we've seen some good with the TikTok guy. And we've seen some horrible stuff all the way down from ants to porn to drugs to bloop, bloop, bloop. Let me drop this in the chat for you guys. This playlist that I put together, I'll just share it for today and then I'm going to delete it because I don't need it anymore. And then Godmomma also put in the chat earlier the Facebook group that was keeping up to date on that. So
and if you're interested in keeping up with possible activity that could happen in Macon State, Georgia, you might want to follow that little Facebook group because they did post something about a prisoner being airlifted, but they had to remove the post because of the people in the comments. And
Nature
so
Boy sector was in there acting up.
yeah, Nature Boy sector definitely was in there acting up. So if you're wanting to, keep an eye out, definitely subscribe to or follow, I think is what they do on Facebook, at Facebook page.
Yeah. I'm going to share it with you guys one more time. Let me see if I can copy this link.
But definitely check on your loved ones in prison. I think full circle, kind of wrapping today up would be that. Keep in contact, check on them. If you feel like you have to join a coalition, do so. If you're being led to, do so. Please do, because this is one thing that really needs to change in our nation. Pay attention in the elections. If you have someone who can rub elbows with someone, put a word in, like, hey, let's talk about prison reform. Let's talk about, what can we do to better the situation for the guards and for the inmates inside of our prisons. Because we didn't even touch on private prison. We just, we stayed on the Georgia State because that's where we got led to because of Eligio Bishop. This is where he is going to be housed for the rest of his life. Now, may he bounce around in Georgia? Probably he will. But, and Georgia State taxpayers, use your taxpaying voice to see what you can get accomplished inside of the state. I know they just hired a new warden for Macon. So, because the last one, I think, got in trouble for contraband. I think that was the one.
Yeah, that was the one
we
letting
listened
it in
to. Yeah, was letting contraband in. So, who knows? Who knows?
Well, so more to come out of this. I'm sure this is not the end of the Georgia State Prison Eligio Bishop saga. And just prayers to all the inmates' families. Prayers to them, because you don't do time alone when you have loved ones.
No, you really don't.
Yeah, and knowing how scary and malnourished and just the not clean. That's another thing I noticed. I said Texas, no. Texas makes you get up, clean your bunks. They bring the washing stuff, the broom, the mop, every rising and every evening, twice a day. Cells clean. They don't put it. They say take that shit down. They don't care. Texas don't give a damn.
Right.
They don't let you live in filth.
Hey, we all
no. Peace, King. Peace, we unlock.
Yeah, I seen videos where there were roaches crawling everywhere. Like, it is just absolutely nasty. And I said to my husband, I was like, even if they don't send people to clean, wouldn't you naturally just want to clean up your spot? Or are you so twisted and tormented in the mind that's normal because you're of your situation?
A combination of both, not being forced to do it, and just because some of these people are not getting the meds they need, they're malnourished. It's an act of rebellion or a form of mental psychosis. So, like I said, in Texas, they just don't play that. They say, get your crazy ass up and clean. Oh, you don't want to? Okay, let's go over here to SEG. And even in SEG, they remove you from your cell and they bring in a trustee to clean it. They don't let you sit in filth like that.
No, you know what that... Oh my gosh, girl. That does so much to the mind. Just sitting in clutter and filth all day. I don't... Oh my God. No wonder they're walking around crazy with long machetes and...
Looking like they in El Salvador, girl.
Yes. Yes, it is. When you're depressed, your house is super, super messy. But baby, if I looked up in my bed and there were roaches crawling up there, that depression has to go away for a moment. Something's got to happen. So I don't care Y'all in there smoking roach spray but won't kill the roaches? What the fuck's going on?
Well, the roach spray is getting sprayed on letters and sent in. And that's how they get in the roach spray. It's getting sprayed on mail and sent in, and then they smoke it.
Well, y'all, instead of smoking it, y'all need to put that shit in the motherfucking corners of the room. Okay?
Listen, when they high like that, they're like, we don't give a fuck. Yeah, I'm high. I'm in prison. I don't care. Ooh, what a day! What a day! So yeah, yes, that's the loss of will. Yes, the loss of will to live. But that's it, y'all. Y'all go ahead, tweak and geek, or don't. You know, move on and close it down and act like you never heard it and you don't care. I don't live in Georgia, so I don't know if I'll be advocating for any of the prisoners, but I think I will be keeping up with some of it as far as the legal side of it, just to see if any actions are taken. So, and I did join that group. I shared the link in the chat to the playlist that's got some videos, and then to the Facebook group that's keeping up with some of the prisons over there. So, all right, y'all. I think that concludes our show for today. We went over a little bit,
Hey,
but
the infamous.
it's noon. Yeah, you missed another one. That's okay. Go ahead and catch the replay.
You can red ball it back, baby. You can red ball it back. Put this baby on 1.5%, and you're gonna be done in no time. Okay.
And before
shout
we
out
close,
to the replay game.
Yeah, shout out to the replay game. Before I do close this out, I do want to say one more thing. Shout out to Mrs. Intel, and hopefully some of y'all were able to get, go drop your Cash App. She was basically just asking people to drop their Cash Apps and blessing their Cash Apps. So if any of our crew was able to get over there and get some blessings, I hope you were able to do so. So shout out to the back to school giveaway. Much needed, Need to keep up with the community help. For sure.
Absolutely. Well, we may see y'all in the morning. We may not. Who knows?
Yeah. We might be back tomorrow. We might not. So I think we need to kind of get back into politics and stuff and see what Kamala's talking about. So we might be back tomorrow, y'all. Tomorrow in the rising. Listen, I got a playlist for her too. Well, listen, we did the Project 2025, and I was asked, well, what about Kamala? I said, what about her? She didn't write a Project 2025. I was just doing that for Big Club. Well, we want to hear her policies. I said, say less.
If y'all missed that was a really good live. It's on the NAB Uncensored channel. If you missed that live of the book club for Project 2025, please go give that a review, because it was a really good live. Really good live. Good. Kudos to you. It was really good.
Trump 2024. Well, we'll see. And yeah, we'll probably be back tomorrow, because I heard there ain't gonna be no elections. Let the psychics tell it.
Oh shit.
Let's get out of here. I gotta go. It's after 12.
Have a good day.
Peace and blessings, y'all. Peace.
Toodles.
My release. This is a part of what I do to have fun, and I'm a creative. Creativity, I love it. You know what I'm saying? It's what keeps life interesting and makes it have fun. Makes me have fun.
Oh shit.
We're still live.